Hey everybody, this is Madmaxed with another raid video. Remember, subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up if you like it, and also uh, leave me some comments. Tell me anything you want to see, anything that you'd like to know about. Now, I'm going to go over Dark Elena today. Now, she's an early nuker champ that you will get. She's a really good champ to have. I mean, I don't have the best of gear on her. As you can see, this is a 5-star green piece ring. I would probably have a much better ring on her, but she's really old. I never even finished up her masteries, and you can probably figure 20% more damage if I just finished up her masteries in this thing. Now, she is, when you're sitting down and you've got Kale, and you don't have another good nuker to come along, she's a really, really good nuker. I mean, she's got 17,000 hit points, that's good. That is good for that is pretty good for an attack-based champ. Her attack is 1365, which is kind of middle of the road at best, but I've got her up to almost 4,000 attack. Now, her defense is low, it's 800. But now, she's never going to get froze. Her speed, I've got it up to, her speed is kind of slow. I've got it up to like, 176. And her crit rate is at 68%. Her crit damage is at 251, resist is 120, and her accuracy is 231. Now, when you go through and you look at her skills, she only has 2 attacks. She has this one that attacks one enemy. It decreases the target turn meter, target's max hit point by 30% of the damage inflicted. So if she does 10,000 points worth of damage, you get another 3,000 that knocks off their hit points. Now, I don't have her booked out. She'd do more damage than she was booked out to. Now, this is her big attack. So you can look at this, and, if I book her out, she's going to get 15% more. She has a 75% chance of placing once she's booked out, for a 3-turn cooldown of increased attack on this champion for 2 turns. Well, I mean, she gets that regardless. But she has a 75% chance of placing a 30% increased speed debuff for 2 turns. Which, anytime you decrease the other speed, it helps you. Now, the masteries, like I said, I haven't finished them. And I've had her forever. I just don't use her that much, unfortunately, because I actually got better nukers early in the game. I think before I even got her, I had Tundra. And Tundra is one of the best nukers in the game. So I developed her out instead of developing Dark Elena out. One of these days I'll go back and do her mastery, but it'll be straight down the offensive line like I always do. I'll sit down, I'll take the Arcane Celebrity, I'll take Lords of Steel, which is a great thing to have. Probably take the increased speed tier, but it's not really needed. Now, she could get probably, if once she's booked out and once she's sit down and you get her mastery done, she could probably do another 30-35% more damage easily. Now, she is really good against Ninja. She's really good against Yarkle, which I just got, and I haven't finished him up yet, but he freezes. Tremaine freezes. And so when you go in, let's take a little run with her. And I'm going to go through the only Doom Tower, the only campaign. And I've only got like a defensive champ. Her is the only nuker. The rest 2 are food. And this is Nightmare campaign, by the way. I think. Yeah, it is Nightmare. I got it on. So when I go through and I run this, we're going to show you the kind of damage that she can do. And you can figure, book her, finish her masteries up, probably 30-35% more out of this. And she almost wiped everybody off at one shot. And then she did 25,000 with the A1 even. Now, if anybody freezes, but I doubt it because these guys don't have a lot of accuracy, and they don't usually freeze anybody. See, they didn't even freeze the guys that have no armor on. And see, she dropped almost everybody again. And of course, it depends on are you the affinity and stuff. But then she did 25K worth of damage again there, and she did. You can see her damage, and her damage is really good. But nobody got froze, so nobody gets the hit. 26K worth of damage. She's a good champ to have. She's a good nuker for you. And so, she can get up to about what Kale does as far as damage, but where she shines at is when you get people that freeze. Unfortunately, these guys don't have enough accuracy to freeze her, but she's really, really good she's a really good counter to Ninja. She's a really good counter to Termaine, that the little dwarf that comes out that freezes everybody every time you throw a buff on anybody. So, and she counterattacks instantly when you do that. So, and then she can't be froze with unless you got like 2 or 3 freezers, because she usually will just counter. If you look at her skills, she'll instantly remove any freeze debuff on this champion and replace them with a 30% increased crit rate. That's the reason I don't have her crit rate up to 68%, because that 30% that she's going to do if anybody tries the freezer is going to automatically get it to 98%. And it would be better if it was 100. It's also going to increase her crit damage up by 30%, do even more. She gets the weak version of the strengthen. Now, she fills the champion turn meter by 25% and instantly activates the Death Master, which is her big attack on everybody when somebody tries to freeze her. So, she's a really good champ against freezers. So if you've got her, she's good for you to have. She's really great in Golem, because Ice Golem is going to freeze you. I mean, that's just the bottom line. When you carry her into Ice Golem, I'm not even sure I use her on my Ice Golem team because I've got such good nukers, but I used to use her. But now, yeah, I really like, let's see, let me put Dark Kale back in her. Now, when you go through and you use her in Ice Golem, now there will be she's going to get froze, or they're going to try to freeze an Ice Golem. There's no way around this. I mean, Ice Golem at 20, he has enough accuracy to freeze people. And you see, she did a fair amount of damage there. She is not my best nuker, but it doesn't really matter. I really should have took probably Ninja in. It would have made it a little bit quicker. But this is a nice, easy, safe team to have. Nobody's going to die. Not with Ursa, not with Arbiter, and not with Bad Ale on the team. Bad Ale can actually kill a lot just because of all the poisons he places. Once all those poisons get stacked up, I mean, there is no way that poison's not going to finally just kill them. So, we're through the first wave. This isn't a quick team. It's just to try to show you what she does in Ice Golem. But when we get through the wave, I'll be back and we'll get to the main boss. Okay, we're back. We're at the boss. Now, we're going to get froze at some point here. And you see she did 46K worth of damage on this. Of course, she's affinity. She's the positive affinity for this. But, that's a good bit of damage. We're waiting for him to do that slam to the ground where he freezes everybody, or tries to freeze everybody. And you'd notice all the poisons we've got stacked up. 35K worth of damage to his ad. That's not a bad attack. Of course, she's really the only nuker you have on here. Dark Kale, he's actually just mostly for the poisons. Now, you watch the freeze, automatically 40k, 25k worth of damage from it. Probably one didn't crit and the other one did. And you notice the poisons stack up. And the poisons do massive damage, to him over time. Between Bad Ale and between Dark Kale, the poisons really help. It just speeds things up. Now, when he throws his A1, you notice he activated all the poisons, and you see how much damage that did to the ad. And you could actually, if you were manualing this, it'd be a lot faster because you would be hitting him right now instead of all these ads. And he's dead. She's good for Ice Golem, really good. I mean, she'll help you get through Ice Golem a lot early on. Ice Golem actually has a few pieces of gear in it that are really good to have. If you look, it's got, most of these I don't like, but I really like the reflex set for certain ones of your champions, like her. Reflex is really good on Cold Heart, because all you want to do is get Cold Heart's A3 up as much as you can, and that cooldown from that reflex helps a lot. But guys, remember, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you out early in the game.